everybody, we are here today to do our 500-mile review of the new Polaris Ranger XD 1500.
Crew Ultimate. So this one has all the bells and whistles. We bought this machine back in, we ordered it in August and took delivery of it sometime in the middle of December. And we've been driving the heck out of it now. We've probably got a little bit over almost 600 miles, I think, right now. And we kind of wanted just to give you guys a little bit of insight of what we like, what we don't like, some of the cool things about it, some of the strange things about it, and some of the stuff we've done to it.
And also to give you an idea of some of the products that we're really looking forward in the aftermarket to see if they fill some of the gaps between what we see out of the box from Polaris.
So right off the bat, you'll notice the Ranger has changed a little since the day we bought it. We're running 35-inch Valor Alpha tires mounted on 15x9 Alba Racing beadlock wheels. These are their new style. They are their Pro Rally spec, soon to be hitting the market. Only thing we had to modify is because we wanted to run with the red accented hardware, we had to run a slim 6mm wheel spacer to get the back of the nuts to clear the brake caliper. If you run the regular stock hardware, no issues there. You may be wondering, do we have to do a lift? Do we do any kind of other special treatment to run the 35s? No. All we did is we actually took the preload on the shocks from their softest setting up 2 clicks. They still rub slightly every now and then. You'll see some of the videos when we're off camber a little bit that it starts to rub on the inner fender. Not too bad. Hopefully we can fix that here shortly with some aftermarket suspension. Springs and shocks. The next one we did here was the windows. When we first got it, it was like an aquarium. A lot of window, a lot of glass. So first stop was the King Detail here in Farmington. Got the windows blacked out. We did, I want to say it was 50% on the windshield, 15 on the sides, and I think 5 on the back. So when the kids are in the back seat, they're completely out of the sun and they love it. Going around the back, we had our friends at AK Manufacturing make us a little cool kick plate. I was kind of concerned people were going to start climbing in here and scratch the plastic, and so we made these little covers with our logo in there to keep them nice and protected. We had the powder coating done by Resurrection Motorsports here in Farmington. Take care of that with us. Pretty cool, clever. I don't know if it's a coincidence or Polaris knew the sun color is pretty cool. We also are running the Factor 55 hook, which also, this is a stock color from Factor 55. And if you notice, it's the exact same color as the red.
So the color that we powder coated to and are using on the Ultra hook, I believe it's Illusion Ruby.
I believe so, yes.
So matches perfectly in the sun. That's something that we're both very OCD about. And at first we thought that we were going to go with a full color change. That was my vision for it. I didn't want to keep her. But once we saw the Alba Racing beadlocks accented with everything, she just looked better than we ever could have imagined. So we're going to keep her this color.
Like you guys all have already looked online and noticed, these things are stupid expensive. They're huge. They're much bigger than the previous XP 1000s. One of the gripes we have, you spend that much money on a machine, it needs side mirrors. I mean, even if you're not driving on the road, you're driving on the ranch and backing up to your trailer, and you need side mirrors. The only option that we could find when we bought the machine was the Polaris, and I think there's still the only ones out there. Very simple to install. We have a video that we've already done showing how that all goes in. The quality of them is great. The field view is amazing.
One of my frustrations with the fact that this is a very expensive machine was the fact that we don't have power locks. I think that's something that we should definitely, that Polaris should definitely look at for the next round, because
Every door has its own lock, so you have to manually go unlock it. You can unlock the door from the inside to open it, but you still got to come out here with your key and manually open the lock so that it doesn't lock on you when you close it again.
So, and you do have the power windows. The interior of the cab is very comfortable. There's lots of room. If you look at the cargo space with the cup holders,
it's well thought out.
It is a well thought out layout. We really enjoy, you know, we've gone out and ridden around. We're gonna splice in a video that shows how our kids fit in their seats.
Here in the back seat. What are you doing, sis? Goofball.
Okay. So the seat configuration in the Rangers is a bench seat in the front and the back, so you could fit 6 comfortably. We're a family of 4 and we're both all very large. When we were looking at how we wanted to run seats for the kids in the back, originally we were going to use our Aces Junior seats, but with the pitch of the seats and how they fit, we weren't comfortable with it. So we pulled our car seats that were in the trucks. Olivia's running, sitting in the Nuna Rava, which is one of the bulkier of the convertible car seats on the market. As you can see, she has plenty of leg room.
Say hi, sis.
Room to wiggle. Eric is running a high back booster. You can see he's able to get in comfortably. He still has his cup holders and plenty of leg room. The next feature we really enjoyed was they did put some vents on the floor so it maintains circulation for the kiddos in the back so they're not just getting all that stale air. And we use the bar to carry their helmets, so we have those ready for them too. Not to mention with the seats, they're comfortable, they're ergonomic to where you're not just sitting at a hard 90-degree angle. And my favorite feature is heated, and they kick butt. The next thing that we wanted to test while we took it out to the Glade last weekend was what type of dust intrusion through the cracks and the crevices were we going to see. We didn't receive any. Most of the dust in the cab was as a result of our feet and getting in and out and tracking it in. There wasn't visible dust flying in.
The noise in the cab is minute. I think when we're going about 45 miles an hour, we're only getting around 70, 75 decibels in the cab. The noise and rattles that you normally get from side-by-sides, nothing in this one. If you want Samantha, go ahead and start it up. And
she is sturdy too. So when we're driving around, I think the loudest thing in the Ranger is probably the children. This will get to one of the features that I was really disappointed with, and it's just because I want to feel my music. For spending $50,000 on a machine, I'm really looking forward to what the aftermarket's going to bring in terms of a subwoofer, because my Oldsmobile Regency hit a little bit harder than this did. So we're going to be putting in a sub. So we're going to try that just to see how it sounds, to see if it improves the sound quality.
So like she's saying, we found a cheap Amazon subwoofer that'll fit behind the rear seats. We've seen a couple other people on the Facebook pages that have already installed it. It's around $100. We want to try that and see if that really makes a difference, because of the cab enclosure. It really keeps the sound in here. So the Northstar Ultimate only has speakers down at the footwell and the tweeters up on the A-pillar. One issue that we have noticed, go ahead and Samantha, turn the key on, or you can turn it all the way on, is once the instrument cluster pops up, after about 20 hours of operation, you get this little service wrench warning light popping up, and literally that's just a mistake on the programming from Polaris. They did not realize that on these machines the frequency of their maintenance interval is much longer between services compared to the other models, so it defaults to the 25-hour service that is normal. there's no way once you have ride command to actually kill the to take that warning light off. So we've raised an issue with Polaris, and they're getting their programmers to update the software, and once that becomes available, that'll be coming out to the masses. The other thing we've added to our machine so far is a street legal kit from WD Electronics. We normally go with a different couple other brands, but this one we want to give these guys a shot. Simple to install, seems like a good quality machine or products. Good quality products. The arm right here is a little bit different for us because this one is only a turn signal portion, and it does integrate with your instrument cluster. Normally, our other brands have everything built into it. This one, you have a separate horn button, and then we added the hazard function up above. For those that do want to do the WD Electronics kits, a couple notes for you guys is the rocker switches do not illuminate. So during the day, they're easy to find. At night, not so much. If you're looking to get a set for your machine, our friends at Ultimate Performance UTV have them in stock. They do come with the sequential LED strip for the front, and come to the back. Comes with a fancy LED plate or LED lit plate for your license plate, and it ties into your factory rear tail lights. So the other part we wanted to bring up was the transmission. This, as everybody is aware of, this transmission is a one-off, never been used before in the UTV industry. Polaris went to the steel belt drive, and right now our take on it is we're
still
50-50 on it.
Yeah.
On the roads, it shifts when it needs to. It behaves, phenomenal. It keeps RPMs down. I mean, it's computer controlled, so you can sit there and if you wanted to be sporty, you put it in sport mode. If you want it in tow mode, put it in tow mode, and it's got all the torque you want. But one thing that we've noticed is when we're out in the trails or there's a pretty substantial hill climb or obstacle, it just...
The performance and the lag made me nervous because in our Razor, you can hear and feel the sound and the difference, whereas this one...
And you know that when you give it more throttle, you know you're either going to see the tires move or you're going to get belt smoke. This one, when you're going uphill and it gets to a point where it's like, hey, I need a downshift.
It pauses.
It stops and thinks about it, and you have to give more gas. You get no warnings that we've seen so far, but it's almost like, hold on, let me think about it. Okay, now we're going to go, and then it takes off. But it takes a while to get used to that. And like Samantha said, we got to get our confidence built into that, because if you're not expected that kind of behavior, it can really make your day trip pretty terrible. So far. That clunking here in the back, that's my kid's helmets, not the machine. And I know the camera never does it justice, so once I get up here on top, we'll turn around and I'll show you what it looks like. Having to apply some brake, so don't want want to get too careless. But right now, no brake. Just engine brake and bringing itself down. Applying the brake again. So after 500 miles, Samantha, is it a keeper or are we going to sell it?
She's a keeper.
All right.
It's funny because he taxes this as it's just mama's, but you know, he's been riding it around town and using it a little bit more than I've had a chance to, but so happy overall with it. The kids love it. There's some minor quirks that are, but not deal breakers by any stretch.
For being a first year production model, I mean, completely from ground up model, we were expecting to have a few glitches here and there, and knock on wood, the small little programming on the instrument cluster and us learning how the transmission behaves. And like Samantha said, the audio maybe could be a little bit better. The door locks, like we sometimes forget it's a side-by-side, not a truck, but it's been phenomenal. We've been very impressed with the machine, and we want to probably keep it for long term. I mean, I know the kids love it. We'll see how the summer comes when we have to get back in the Razor and leave the Ranger at home maybe.
We're excited to take her out on the trails this summer. I don't think that we're going to use her for crawling as much as we do with Linda. That's just not necessarily why we bought her. So we'll give her a whirl on the trails, especially with the weather and any of that unpredictability. Being able to keep the kids warm and dry, we're excited about that.
We're hoping to have some plans this summer of going camping, you know, throwing the old-fashioned tent and sleeping bags in the back of the Ranger and our fishing gear and go old school camping, you know, leave
we'll leave the glamping
for later. We got to teach the kids how to get dirty. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If there's any questions or comments or concerns you guys have about the Ranger, don't hesitate to drop us a line below. And like always, I hope you guys like and subscribe. And we will see you guys on the trail.
Thanks, guys.